Barcelona have a problem. It started in the beginning of the season when Inigo Martinez last minute left Barcelona and left Hansi Flick with an issue, which was who do we now play at the left center back position? It started off with Araujo on the right, and he moved Cubarsí to the left. And it was a move that it didn't end up being that good because Araujo wasn't giving Cubarsí the confidence that he needed. Araujo cannot play out through the back the way Cubarsí can, but Cubarsí is not left-footed, so he was even struggling to play in that position. Later on, Hansi Flick experimented with Eric Garcia. It was a little bit better, but Eric Garcia, as we've seen, is a substitute for not only just center back, he also substitutes on the right back, in the center mid position, and even sometimes, including last game, if I'm not mistaken, in the left back position. So that's already a problem in itself. Christensen comes. They tried him next, and it was working out, especially with Araujo leaving to Jerusalem after that Chelsea game where he was deeply affected psychologically and needed to leave. So Christensen was the next man up. But now Christensen, I think, either tore his ACL or his MCL or something like that. He's out for 4 more months, practically the rest of the season. So now who do you have on defense? And Hansi Flick said, okay, guys, we need to go into the January transfer market, the winter transfer market, and we need to bring in a center back. Now, that's fine. Hansi Flick asked for a center back. But I've been arguing towards something completely different. Well, not completely different. But I've been arguing towards the solution coming from somewhere else. And it's the fullback. I think rather than going and getting a center back in the winter transfer, we should get a fullback. And I've been saying it. If you've watched my previous videos, I say it that, especially when we talk about transfers, the things we need, aside from striker, a winger, another midfielder, a center back, we need a fullback. And I think that's something that's, I guess, not so obvious to everybody else, but for me, it's just absolutely obvious. Why do we need a fullback? We have Alejandro Balde with no real backup. Gerard Martin, who was his backup, is now playing in center back. We have Condé on the right back. His substitute is Eric Garcia, who's substituting, like I said, in center back, in center mid, in left back. So who do we have? And where do we get a center back? That's another issue. Now, the solution to the problem is now the news that everybody's hearing, that Joao Cancelo is coming back to Barcelona. And a lot of people are saying, oh, but what about what Hansi Flick asked for? He asked for for a center back, and they're bringing him a right back, and he's washed, and this and that, and he didn't work out. Now, I'm going to explain to you today in this video, hopefully very thoroughly, why Cancelo is the best option for Barcelona and why this move makes sense, okay? First of all, Cancelo, for me, solves multiple problems. He offers not only a backup on right back, but he offers a backup on left back. He can play both. Condé and Eric Garcia can also play in center back. So maybe, Hansi is asking for a center back, but you have it with Eric Garcia. You have it with Condé. Remember that Condé, before Hansi Flick arrives, Condé is the center back. And the guy playing a right back was Araujo for Xavi. And if not him, Cancelo, obviously. So Condé is the center back. When he played in Sevilla, he was center back, albeit a right center back because they played in a system with a 3 defensive back. In France, he's played center back, sometimes in a line of 3 as well. But for the most part, Condé started off as a center back. It's Hansi Flick who upgraded him, who converted him into a right back. And granted, he was possibly top 3 best right backs last season. So not a bad job. But Condé has even offered himself. He's like, dude, I can play center back if you need me to. There was a lot of rumors saying that he was telling Hansi Flick, I'd rather play center back. No, that wasn't the thing. What it was that he said, hey, if you need me at center back, I can do it. The problem is, who's his backup? Eric Garcia, wasn't the best solution. And besides that, you have nobody else. Hector Fort went on loan. So it's that. That's all you got. And what we saw last season against Inter Milan, when we lost Balde, when we lost Conde, was Gerard Martin backing up Balde. It wasn't the best. And now Gerard Martin is killing it at left center back, so you're not going to take that out. He's left-footed, and he's perfect as a ball-playing defender. He's physical, he's tall, he's strong, he's doing it well. And he understands Hansi Flick's system. The backup for Conde was Eric Garcia. And we lost a lot of verticality. We lost a lot of attacking threat. We lost a lot in what was Lamine Yamal's partner in the attack. So we saw what this team looks like without a backup right back and a backup left back. Cancelo solves both of those issues. He can plug in for either of them. Right now, yeah, it would be cool if we had a backup left back and backup right back. But if you can get somebody like Cancelo who can cover both spots, you don't oversaturate that team with a bunch of positions, a lot of players for each position, I think it's pretty good. Araujo might be coming back. He's already back. I think he's traveling to Jeddah for the Super Cup. So you have that extra center back there too. I think Cancelo makes sense. Now, other reasons why Cancelo makes sense to me. First of all, he's a huge Barca fan. And if you ask any fan of any team, when you have a player that bleeds for your team, that talks about them at any opportunity, even when he's not there, he loved being a Barca player. Cancelo, that one season he was with Barca, he loved it. And he's talked about it ever since. Oh, yeah, I get really happy. I think it was Al Hilal versus Real Madrid. He gets really happy, playing against Real Madrid. And he's a Barca fan through and through. You ask anybody, bro, you want that guy on your team. You want him on your team. Another reason, the locker room. They know him already. Gavi knows him. Pedri knows him. A lot of the players know him. And it won't be the biggest deal to bring a new face because he's been there before. The experience that Joao Cancelo has. He has been in every great team of every great league. He's played in Manchester City and won things with Guardiola. He's been in Bayern Munich. I don't know if he coincided with Hansi Flick, but he was in Bayern. He's played in Inter Milan. And he's played in Barcelona before. The best teams in every league. He's an attacking wingback. Yes, maybe he's not the best defensively, but does Barcelona really defend? And I know this sounds stupid. I know this might sound dumb, but if you really take the time to think about it, Barcelona doesn't defend. They play the offside trap so that they can avoid defending. They don't play a low block and wait for the team to attack them. They rather get the ball, recover it as fast as they can with high press, fast pressing, the offside trap, and we're right back to it. So do we need somebody who's the best defender in the world? No. We need an attacking wingback. We need somebody to, if Conde can't do it, somebody else can. And it's not going to be Eric because Eric, is not the best attacking wingback. He's more of a defensive player. He's more of a situational, not situational, more of a, you put him in that position, a positional player. So I think Cancelo makes sense. And not only that, the most important thing, because it's the biggest issue that Barcelona has had, is the money. He's a cheap loan signing. His salary is 15 mil. It's only going to be for half the season, so you split that in half. And then if you find a way to split that in half with Al Hilal, you're talking about 3-4 mil. It's relatively easy. Okay? And not only that, I think Cancelo is relinquishing some of his salary. So he's taking a cut to be in Barca. What more do you want? That's the perfect opportunity. So what we're going to take a look at now is this right here. Okay? This is the lineup. And notice I have these guys up high right here. Look where I have Conde. Conde can play center back. And you plug in Joao Cancelo right here. Okay? Gerard Martin here. Now let's say you need a backup for... This is the problem right here. And I think this is what Hansi Flick really wants. He wants a backup left-footed center back. I understand that. But, if you got to do it, you got to do it. Christensen's not there no more. I didn't put Araujo here. But let's just pretend Szczesny is Araujo. So you have Araujo here, Gerard Martin. You have Cubarsí, who has played already in the left center back position. So you have these 4 guys right here, right? And then add Eric Garcia to it because he's also a defender. When you have Casado, you have Marc Bernal, you have Frankie de Jong. Olmo has even played in this position before, right? So you have all these. You have 5 center backs. Remember that we're pretending this is Araujo. We have 5 center backs for a 2 center back system. I think 5 is enough. And what you have here is Joao Cancelo, not only a backup for Condé, but he can play left back too. He could be a backup for Balde. Now, another reason why it's important to have these players, or this player, is because, I'm going to put this guy here for now, although he's been killing it, is because who challenges Condé? Who says, hey, you're not playing well, so I'm gonna try to beat your position? Let's be real. Eric Garcia is not as good as Condé. Not in this position. I'd rather have Condé any day. But if Condé starts playing bad and you got to put Eric Garcia, you really lose things in the attack, right? Because this is the beauty of Condé. We play in the offside trap. He's a good defender, 1v1. Yeah, he still makes mistakes. He still messes up the offside trap a lot of times. But what we love about him is this relationship right here. The Lamine Yamal, Jules Condé relationship. The attacking situation. His goals. His ability to play make. He's been dribbling a lot through here. So this is what we need. We need another one of these. Not here. Here. We need another overlapping guy. Right? And Eric's not that guy. Eric is more over here. Right? So take out Eric. Who challenges this guy for that position? Well, you have a guy right here. Balde. Let's say he's playing bad. Who challenges him for his position? Gerard Martin's okay, but he's been killing it right here. Gerard Maldini over here. Right? He's not as good here. Again, he's not mostly attacking guy. He's mostly defensive balance guy. When he was there, Rafinha lost his spark because Rafinha depends on this situation right here, this relationship. The same way Lamine Yamal depends on this relationship right here. So, who challenges him? Joffre? Not really. Not really, let's be real. Eric Garcia, again, he's been plugging in here. You know, it's not that. You know who can play in that position? Joao Cancelo. So now we have an attacking wingback that can play on the right, that can play on the left, and that liberates a player like Gerard Martin, who doesn't have to back up for Balde, a player like Eric Garcia, who doesn't have to back up for Condé, and all of a sudden you have two guys, and then not only that, let's say we put Cancelo on the right, we liberate 3 guys that otherwise would be playing on the fullback position, and you liberate them for center back duties, or in this guy's case, center mid duties. It just makes sense, guys. I don't know how else to explain it. It makes the most sense that we bring in a fullback. And, you know, I was thinking, okay, we can bring in, I don't know, Molina from Atleti, or I would love to see Malo Gusto, for example. I have him in my career mode for Barcelona on FIFA, on FC 26. We could bring those guys. But now you're talking to me about some guy that has been in Barca before, that bleeds the colors, that has a good contract situation, that wants to be here. And not only that, plays right back and left back, has played in the best teams in all leagues, has the experience, has played under Guardiola, has played under, I don't know if he's played under Hansi Flick, I got to look that up, but he's played in Bayern. So he understands Bayern Munich ball. He understands Barca ball through City, and he's been in Barca with Xavi, who is Mr. Barca himself. It just makes sense. This is the move, guys. I think Joao Cancelo is the move. Guys, I want you to share on the comments. Who do you think we should bring in? It would be cool if we got a center back. It would be cool if we got a striker. It would be cool if we got a winger. It would be cool if we could get all the best players. But Barca is in a financial situation right now that they just can't afford it. So you get the deals where they come, and this is the best deal for me. So, guys, get on the comments. Let me know. Do you like the Cancelo loan deal kind of thing? Do you want to see him? Who do you want to see in Barca that is realistic? That is unrealistic. Look, if we're talking about unrealistic, I would love Erling Haaland in Barca. But if we're talking about realistic, I don't know. They're talking about Marco Senesi. That's pretty cool. They're talking about Schlotterbeck and Bastoni. Bastoni's a lot more difficult. Schlotterbeck ends his contract. That might be plausible. They're talking about Vlahovic and the striker. So talk to me. What do you guys think about potential transfers in the January transfer window? A lot less options. In July, okay, but we're talking about this season right now. We're focused on this season. So talk to me about that. And before I forget, Luis, you commented on the last Barca video, the Barca Español, and you had said that we got Joan Garcia, a generational defender, for only 25 mil. On the video, I had said like 50 or 60. I don't know where I got those numbers. I pulled them out of my, you know what? And no, you're absolutely right, dude. We got him for 25 mil, a generational goalkeeper for 25 mil. Super good transaction by Deco. So let's trust Deco when he says, yo, we can use Joao Cancelo. Let's trust him. And let's also trust Hansi Flick, man, who has transformed everything he touches into gold. Okay? Going back to this because I'm fidgeting with Joan Garcia and you're not even seeing it. Let's trust what Hansi Flick can do with this player because we trusted what he can do with Rafinha and got him into Ballon d'Or potential. They didn't take him into account. That's on them. We all know as Barca fans what Rafinha is and what he was last season. He was unstoppable. He's transformed a player like Ferran Torres to the point where I have Robert Lewandowski on the bench because of what Ferran Torres has been doing last season and this season. He's transformed a player that most Barca players detested. And if you don't detest him, you're lying to yourself. If you didn't detest him, you are lying to yourself. Everybody was saying, dude, get this guy out of here. And guess what? When Lewandowski starts, I'm like, nah, man, why not Ferran? He's transformed Ferran. Fermin is balling. Pedri is in his best level. Even Frankie de Jong is playing amazing. He's turned a left back from the La Masia into somebody who people are comparing to to Maldini. I can't remember his first name right now. But, you know, we're comparing this guy to the best defender or one of the best defenders in all of history, okay? We're talking about Condé, who was a center back. He transformed him into one of the best right backs in the world. He got Lamine Yamal, a 17-year-old, to fight neck and neck for Ballon d'Or. And not to mention any of these guys. You're seeing a resurgence of Rashford. You're seeing Dani Olmo having a great season. Lewandowski, who was and who was super old, and we wanted him out because he was washed with Xavi. And then all of a sudden, he's neck and neck with Mbappe for highest score in La Liga last season, if not for his injury. You know, so let's trust Hansi Flick, and I trust Hansi Flick. And we're talking about an attacking threat, bro. Joao Cancelo was one of the best attacking wingbacks in all of the game. In all of the game. Yeah, he struggled on defense. But like I said, we play the offside trap. We don't play defense. We avoid defense. But if we're talking about an attacker, this is the guy. All right, so I'll leave it at that, man. And like I said, Luis, he commented, and I'm here talking about Joan Garcia on a Joao Cancelo video. Why? Because I appreciate when you guys comment. I want you guys to be in the show. I want you guys to be part of the conversation. So feel free to comment, man, and we could do it back and forth. You like my take? You hate my take? Let's talk about it, all right? But until next time, guys, it was a pleasure. And, you know, it hasn't been completely 100% confirmed, but Fabrizio Romano is basically saying that it's done, so it's done. Joao Cancelo back to Barca, and I'm excited. Guys, I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.